Let's see, Michelle.
All right, I will call to order the City of Milton Common Council meeting this Tuesday, January 6th at 6 p.m. Can I get confirmation of appropriate meeting notice?
Meeting notice was posted at Milton City Hall, Hometown Ace Hardware, and Milton Piggly Wiggly.
Thank you. Approval of agenda.
So moved.
Second. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Number 4, public comments regarding items which can be affected by council action. Paul McGraw is signed in. If you'd like to approach the podium, please limit it to 3 minutes. State your name and address for us. Thank you.
Hi, Dr. Paul McGraw. Address is W7769 Island Road, Delavan, Wisconsin. I just want to introduce myself. I am running for the 43rd Assembly District here in includes Milton. It goes from basically Whitewater, Milton, Edgerton. My little about my bio. I'm a veterinarian. I practiced out of Darien, Wisconsin for 14 years as a cow doctor. Took care of a lot of the rural area between Rock and Walworth counties. And then in 2004, I took a job as the assistant state veterinarian with the Department of Ag, and then I was the state veterinarian for 5 years there. So I was with the state 14. In that role, worked closely with public health and zoonotic diseases and lots of diseases in livestock and that kind of thing. In 2018, I left the state to become the manager of the human medical doctors, the doctor's office. So kind of changed hats a little bit. But we have 5 independent clinics, Janesville, Darien, Burlington, Brookfield, and Cedarburg, over 30 providers. This past year, we had over 24,000 patient visits, and we don't take insurance. It's cash, debit, or credit at the time of service. So I know a little bit about the issues with healthcare and the rising costs and what's going on with that. So as you can tell by my gray hair, I've done a few different things. I'm a little older, got a little experience, and I'm just, I've got 2 daughters and 3 grandkids, and I think that we can do better in Wisconsin, and I'd like to help bring a voice of reason to the state. So I appreciate your time.
Thank you. Number 5, approval of the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? That motion carries. Number 6, discussion and possible action regarding ordinance 2026-580 and ordinance amending section 70-155A of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Milton regarding designated parking areas.
So this ordinance would permit parking in designated areas during and after snow events. The ordinance creates parking areas in the Junction Square and Goodrich Square downtown areas for use during snow events of 1.5 inches or more. Parking will be allowed in the entire municipal parking lot located at the intersection of Merchant and Crandall Street, as well as the 14 southern stalls along the eastern curb line of the municipal parking lot located at the intersection of Parkview Drive and College Street. No fiscal impact to the city. City administration recommends approving ordinance 2026-580 and ordinance amending section 70-155 sub A of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Milton concerning parking during and after snow events. Enactment of an ordinance requires a first, second, and third reading and a motion to adopt. If the council prefers, the second and third reading may be waived at the same time the first reading is completed. The ordinance is attached. I believe there's a handout in front of you also. This ordinance is just cleaning up the language to identify which stalls would be allowed for parking. The current ordinance does not articulate that.
Thank you, Chief. Any questions? Or a motion?
I mean, I guess my first thought would be it is winter, so I probably don't want to wait for second and third readings. So I guess I'll make a motion to regarding ordinance 2026-580 and ordinance amending section 70-155A of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Milton regulating designated parking areas, and I would move to waive the second and third readings.
I second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
Just make a point, I assume that this is the map that we have right here, that I assume, Paul, you made?
Yeah.
Yep, thank you. Just so everybody can kind of understand exactly, the wording can be a little confusing, so I think a map for the visual for the public is good.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? That motion carries. Number 7, discussion and possible action regarding resolution 2026-01, terminating tax increment district number 6 for the city of Milton.
This resolution formally terminates tax incremental district number 6 with the city of Milton in accordance with Wisconsin statutes, following satisfaction of all project costs and financial obligations. Wisconsin statutes establish a maximum lifestyle for tax incremental districts. TID number 6 has reached the end of its allowable statutory duration and must be terminated in accordance with Wisconsin statute 66.1105. Upon termination of the TID, the incremental equalized value associated with the district will be returned to the tax base of the overlapping tax jurisdictions, including the city, school district, county, and technical college district. Adoption of the resolution authorizes city staff to complete all required statutory filings and notifications, including notice to the Wisconsin Department of Revenue and the affected tax districts. Termination of TID number 6 will return the district's incremental value to the general tax base of the city and other overlapping taxing jurisdictions. There's no adverse fiscal impact to the city associated with adoption of this resolution. City administration recommends approving resolution 2026-1, terminating tax incremental district number 6 of the city of Milton due to the expiration of the statutory life pursuant to Wisconsin statute 66.1105.
I'd like to go ahead and make that motion to approve resolution 2026-01, terminating tax incremental district number 6.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? That motion carries. That was a lot. Number 8, discussion and possible action regarding an agreement with MSA to manage the closure of the CDBG revolving loan program.
The Department of Administration is consolidating the CDBG revolving loan fund throughout the state. The city currently works with MSA Professional Services managing our CDBG revolving loan fund. This program was started by the state in the 1980s to provide residents with low-interest funds to maintain their homes in a safe and sanitary manner. The state provided federal funds to several municipalities. The state has recently identified that a large amount of these funds sit idle and are not fulfilling the purpose of fulfilling the goals of the program. The state has decided to allocate grant funding on a regional basis. The city is required to return funds to the state, but needs to continue to administer the current loans we do have. The city currently has 13 loans out to members of the community, totaling $177,197. These loans will be repaid when the owner transfers their property. Once each loan is repaid, the amount will be returned to the state. Milton homeowners will still be able to access this program on a regional level rather than on a municipal level. MSA has provided us with an agreement to administer this program until all loans are repaid, and the state has received the funds provided to the city. The fiscal impact, the agreement with MSA will cost $2,000 per year and can be funded with this Community Development Block Grant revolving loan funds. City administration recommends approving the service agreement with MSA Professional Services for administrating the CDBG RLF.
Any questions or any discussion on this?
I move to approve the service agreement with MSA Professional Services for administering the CDBG RLF, excuse me.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
One thing I just want to let the council know that I thought is something I dug into. I thought was very good to understand. So that $2,000 a year that will pay for the management of it, that will come out of the general funds. But as soon as the loans start getting paid back, we get reimbursed that $2,000 as those loans mature, and that money goes up to the state level. So I just want to clarify that of how we pay for that $2,000 each year, the management costs.
We'll vote. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Is anyone opposed? That motion carries. Number 9, discussion and possible action regarding ordinance 2026-581 regarding adoption of attendance standards for appointed citizens members serving on city committees, boards, commissions, and authorities.
The proposed policy establishes clear and consistent attendance standards for citizen members appointed to city committees, boards, commissions, and authorities. The intent is to promote accountability, transparency, and effective participation in the conduct of city business. Appointed city members play a critical role in supporting the city governance through advisory and decision-making bodies. Inconsistent attendance can impact quorum, delay action, and reduce the effectiveness of these bodies. The proposed attendance standards provide objective criteria for evaluating attendance, including thresholds for unexcused absences, overall attendance rates, and the treatment of alternate members. The policy also defines what constitutes an unexcused absence and outlines the notification and removal process when attendance standards are not met. The policy does not limit the City Council's authority to remove an appointed member for cause unrelated to attendance and is intended to ensure fairness and consistency across all appointed bodies. This policy has been reviewed by the city's Citizens Committee. There's no fiscal impact to the city for this policy, and the city administration recommends the approval of the attendance standard policy for appointed citizen members serving on city committees, boards, commissions, and authorities, and approval of ordinance number 2026-581. As a reminder, ordinances need to be approved with 3 readings. If the city council so chooses, they could waive the second and third reading and pass tonight.
Thank you, Paul.
I think it's a good policy to look at and having defined better, because attendance has definitely been a problem with some of our committees in the past. At least in my 10 years in council, it's definitely noticed that is a problem. So I think it's a very good idea.
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance 2026-581 regarding adoption of attendance standards for appointed citizen members serving in city committees, boards, commissions, authorities, and waiving the second and third readings.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? That motion carries. Number 10, discussion and possible action regarding a work order from Baxter and Woodman to complete wetland delineation.
This proposed work order is to delineate wetlands to determine areas of land with development potential to perform the necessary design of stormwater management for the John Hall Road and Stearns Road lift station project. The fee for this work is $6,500. City administration recommends approving the work order for the John Paul Road wetland delineation.
And if I'm not mistaken, these have to be done every so often anyway, correct, Paul?
Wetland delineation is in effect for 2 years. Once that 2 years has expired, you would need to get another wetland delineation. So although there is some indications that there has been wetland out there in the past, the DNR doesn't count that. They want to see a report within 2 years.
Okay, I guess I would recommend approving the work order for John Paul Road wetland delineation.
There's a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Is anyone opposed? The motion carries. Number 11, discussion and possible action regarding an extension of the residential exterior improvement grant for 626 Greenman Street.
In 2025, City Council did award a exterior improvement grant for Ms. Apted for 626 Greenman Street. She was going to be painting her house. She was unable to get it done this past year, and has requested for an extension until July 25th, 2026. Current guidelines require that the project be completed within 1 year of the award date, which is March 18th, 2025. There's no fiscal impact to this. City administration recommends granting the extension request. The CDA also heard this request at their meeting yesterday and did forward a positive recommendation to approve this request.
Any discussion or questions for Paul?
After reading her letter that was attached with it, I would recommend granting the extension request.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Number 12, general items. Committee reports. If anyone has one to share.
All right, report on the CDA meeting of yesterday. We talked about the grant that was just approved, and we also talked about 2 signage, one on the east side coming in from 59. We have approved to move forward with the sites locations, and then we've also talked about a sign of taking out a sign here on the corner by St. Mary's, the old sign right here, taking that down, and then the potential of putting up a new sign at the end of down the road here on Janesville Street, but we're going to be looking further into that one, if that's prudent or not. And then last thing is we did also approve landlord best practices for commercial landlords.
Yeah, the library met last night. I always forget what we discussed because it's so much fun. But I know we have so much fun on that board. But some exciting things are coming to the library. I'm sure that Ashley will point out later. Some of it is a lot of updates, and then some amazing things coming in the new year. And then you got to check out Ashley's. Are you going to email that out? Your 2025 reveal. I thought I only got it. Did you look at it? Isn't that amazing? We had like 98,000 people visiting in 2025 or something like that. 4,300 programs alone. Anyways, if you haven't looked at it, look at it. It's amazing.
Thank you for that exciting report. Anyone else that has a committee report?
We had plan commission tonight at 4. It was a pretty short agenda. Probably one of the bigger items was the modification of the site plan at 310 Sunnyside Drive. Luckily, we were able to work out, I guess, a bit of a compromise, get that resolved, which is nice, and get the landowners, I think, talking. I couldn't tell if they had ever spoken to one another or not. And then just an extraterritorial certified survey map. And it's just outside the city, and we just had to approve it because it falls within closer, and because it's so far out there that yeah.
Thank you, Ken. So staff reports. Chief, if you want to kick us off.
Sure. Officer Martirano was sworn back into office back on the 15th of last month, and is already on the end of phase 1 with Officer Zebel, and he'll transition to phase 2 with Officer Schneider next week. Everything's going well. Officer Corder is now Sergeant Corder. He was promoted last month, and he's transitioning well into his new role. No hiccups there. Big news, Deputy Chief Mike Chesmore is retiring this Friday after 23 years of service to the community. He doesn't want any recognition or accolades, so please ruin his week by showing up or calling and saying hi. He does not want anything. There might be something, but he doesn't want anybody. He might be absent all 3 days if he gets wind of anything. So I still want him to show up and earn his paycheck. What else we had? Oh, we had a couple Shop with a Cop events last month. We have our own event that's at Walmart. We had like over 20 some cops show up for that one between us, Janesville, and Rock County to assist with the 15 kids at the school district selects for that. That's an awesome event. And then Janesville PD reached out for help, and we had a few officers extend hands to help with their event at Target for their Shop with a Cop event. Next week, Jax Wells is a sponsor, or one of our soon-to-be hires that we're sponsoring for the Technical College Law Enforcement Academy. And upon successful completion of that, our agency will hire him to backfill one of our openings in anticipation of Deputy Chief Chesmore's retirement. And then we will likely open up a selection process for candidates for patrol officer in late winter, with the expectation of the gap we have, and then with Detective Ryan Justice's upcoming retirement. That's it. Let's hear what the library has.
Thank you. Ashley.
So earlier today I did share our 2025 year in review. So I hope you had a chance to look at that or will look at that. We had a great year and most of the numbers are up from 2024. So that's a great trend to have. At last night's board meeting, we did have a conversation about our hopes and dreams for the library, including a lower level remodel of how we want to use that space, potentially refreshing or updating the children's areas because there's going to be a lot of children museum play spaces being developed in Rock County, so we want to make sure we're kind of up with everybody and not behind. And then potentially a bookmobile as well. So lots of plans. We currently have our annual survey open and would love to hear feedback on how community members use the library in the last year and what other services they would like to see. So that will be open through January 26th.
Thank you, Jenny.
Today at 5 p.m. was the deadline to submit nomination papers for the Office of City of Milton Alderperson, and we did receive four. I'm not getting good. The following candidates submitted nomination papers, and they're listed in the order that the papers were received: Ken Smith, Trent Kaczynski, Brooks Gallman, and Michelle Reed. And so our election officials are starting to schedule training for this year and everything ready for the election in April. On another note, our staff is working on year-end items for 2025 and then working with the assessor, though we have a new assessor in the city of Milton, Catalyst, so we are working through that.
All right, thank you. And Paul?
Met with representatives from Glacial Ridge earlier this week, discussing their next phase. Looks like another good project. They've been doing really well with their current project they're working on. They're going to be moving on further to the south, continuing to develop down there. Did also today receive some drawings on potential football fields from Milton Youth Football, utilizing property that the city owns over by Well 5 off of Janesville Street. They're looking at 3 football fields and a baseball diamond up there, as well as a concession area and some playground equipment. Just in the beginning of that, but that looks really nice. And been looking at some different financial modeling for our future CIP needs.
All right, thank you. That's everybody. So, team building exercise, short and sweet, much like our meeting was tonight, and it'll help me solve. I've got a question. What's an acceptable amount of time for the Christmas tree to stay up after Christmas? Go ahead.
1 day.
New Year's.
New Year.
As long as you feel comfortable looking at the beautiful lights.
January 4th.
By New Year's.
Anytime you want.
Say January 1.
Just don't put one up. Whenever you want.
I'd say New Year's.
Usually New Year's are like the first.
When should you take down your Christmas tree? How long after Christmas? I'm going to go with what my wife told me, which was when I get to it. When she gets to it.
Okay.
Let that be. All right. Next meeting date is January 20th. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.